If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, we have Josee Storts, the Skull Crusher, back on the show, coming off her phenomenal performance at Invicta Phoenix Series 2 last weekend. She did almost exactly what she said she would do and picked up a second-round submission win via triangle choke over Helen Lucero. How are you, Josee?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me back. I'm excited to be here, and it was a first-round finish, so even better.
Oh, that's right. Man, so all these fights and all these interviews just kind of blend together at some
That's
point.
all right.
But, it's been about a week since that win. It was an incredible performance. It was vicious. It was one-sided, and more importantly, it opened a lot of eyes. How does it all feel a week later?
It still feels crazy. It feels incredible. I'm so blessed to have, put on the performance that I did. It's exactly what I said I wanted to do, and, it doesn't always work out how you expect, but this time it absolutely did, and still, Invicta just posted about it again, so just kind of reliving that through the pictures is just an amazing time, and the pictures were pretty brutal, so that's always fun. I kind of like the violence, so I'm like, yeah.
How many times have you gone back and watched it?
Oh my gosh, I was up at like 2 a.m. watching it last night. I was like, I can't really sleep, so let me just replay this video. So just over and over.
I know from doing all of these interviews that you fighters are the most self-critical people on planet Earth. And yes, I understand that with every fight, win or lose, there's always room to grow after every single fight. But there couldn't have been much to be upset about or much to be negative about when it came to that win. Is that accurate, or did you find holes like all you fighters always do?
I did find holes.
Oh, for God's sake.
I was thrilled. It was awesome, incredible. Everybody says that I dominated the whole fight, but I got hit one time right at the beginning, and then I got swept once, so I didn't like that at all. It worked out in my favor. I ended up exactly where, I'm good, so I'm pretty good off my back, even though you don't usually want to be there in a fight, so it worked out really well, but I have been picking it myself quite a bit, because, we want to have a quick turnaround, so if you want that, you better figure out where you're not good and fix it pretty quick. I
definitely get where you're coming from. So if you're a teacher and you're watching the fight and you're giving it a grade, what are you giving it?
I still think it's a strong A, but it's not an A+, so...
That's pretty good. That's better than I expected. I thought you were going to drop a B or a B- on me everybody else does.
I like to hype myself up. So.
There you go. Have you noticed a difference? Maybe a spike in social media numbers, the way people are talking about you, maybe people shying away from you back home a little bit after that performance. Have you noticed a bit of a difference over the last 7 days?
I have. And it's funny just because it's still so new, it's just my first Invicta debut, and social media jumped a lot. My Instagram keeps telling me the thousands of people that view my profile, and I'm like, why? Which is cool though. It's good. A lot more comments, a lot more recognition, and then everybody that I know here is just giving me a lot of crap about, being famous. So even though I'm not, but they like to mess with me, and everybody at my work, I went back to work this whole week, and they saw my fight, obviously, and they were like, oh, we're not gonna mess with you, even if you get our food wrong. So it's cute, it's all fun.
It's all fun. What was like your favorite comment that you got from someone that you totally didn't meet on social media? Because I saw it the whole time. Everyone's like, oh man, Josee Storts is vicious, she's violent, she's gonna be a star. Like, what were some of the comments that you were seeing that really stuck out to you?
I saw a lot of those too. The ones I like the most are like, this is girl's legit. Like, she's UFC material, because it's cool to be gruesome and bloody, but people that know the sport mean the most to me. So some people at my work, obviously they know the sport, they trained it, they watched it, and for them to be able to talk to me about it and be like, your transitions were incredible, you adapted really well. Like, those are the ones that mean the most, because it's always, cool to watch somebody win a fight and, let them know that they're a badass, but it's much cooler to know what's going on and to receive compliments that really mean something from people that know, because it means you're in the right place. And for people that get it, it's really cool to just, kind of solidify what you already feel about yourself. But, it's nice to know that talent and, effort is paying off. So those are my favorite, the ones that know what's going on and can appreciate it.
From a general perspective, the fight went pretty much the way you wanted it to go, the way that you expected it to go. Did anything Helen do in that fight, anything that she brought to you in that fight at all surprise you in any way?
No, I was surprised that she seemed timid. I thought that she was not going to be. We thought she was going to come out swinging, like I said. I mean, I even said she was probably going to, get crazy, and I was going to try to get her to the cage, but I got her to the cage, but she didn't. She seemed timid coming out. I mean, my weigh-in was kind of aggressive too, though. So it was. We kind of tried to put on a performance this fight for sure. So I think the whole build-up really helped my street cred a little bit. But yeah, she seemed a little bit timid. She kind of just held me down from mount, and from somebody who's been training for so long, you would think that they would know that's not what you want to do when you're getting mounted. So it kind of surprised me. Just how she handled the position she was in, but nothing shocked me to change my game enough. So yeah, that's it. I just kind of adapted on how I thought, and I was extremely confident this fight, so I think that helped play a part. I was very calm, very confident, and it kind of helped me just be able to move how I wanted when I wanted. So
was the Invicta experience everything you expected it to be? Like, you came out during the weigh-ins, like you said, it was rather aggressive. You had the Skeletor like bandana around your face. The image was sort of the cover image for a lot of different websites' coverage for the event. How did you enjoy being able to let that personality shine through in the way that you did?
I love it. My management team, TKO, gets behind it a lot too. They always send me ideas on how to brand myself better. So that's we took it this time and really rolled with it being on such a big platform. So I had a ton of fun. Usually, like, I dress up for my weigh-ins and look cute anyways, but this time I got to weigh in, recover, and then fully get ready and like really put on a show. So that was incredible. And then the whole Invicta show, just such a difference in, venues from the amateur stage here to going and fighting for such a big promotion. It was incredible. I mean, very well put together and very sweet, and, everybody was just so awesome. So I am very glad that I get to have my next 5 fights with them. It was really good.
You mentioned a short turnaround. How short of a turnaround? When would you like to return? I know there's another show coming up in a few weeks. Not sure if that's too soon or not. Your eyes just opened quite a bit there, but I would guess you'd like to get at least another one in before the year is out. So are you looking to get on the October 4th card, or that one? Yeah, I think it's October 4th, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 4th. We would have liked to. I didn't take any injuries. I'm young. I am obviously learning every day. So with me being so healthy after this fight and, still being in camp, obviously, and in shape, it was ideal that we would try to, have a turnaround and get on another card October quickly. It is very short notice, though, to try to find an opponent and, get on there. So we'll see. If that one doesn't work out, there's a whole bunch more coming up. So definitely 1 or 2 more before the end of the year. You will be seeing me again shortly. So not for sure on the dates, but it'll be before the end of the year. No worries.
And they'll all be for Invicta? Because I know they're pretty flexible with letting you gals fight for different promotions, because there's a lot of women and there's only so many cards that could fit you guys all in on. So I mean, are you exclusive with them, or do they allow you to fight outside of the organization if you need to?
I am not for sure. It's up to them and my manager. I want to fight for whoever wants to have me. I love Invicta. If they want to put me on another card as soon as possible, I already told them that I want that. So I would love to fight with them as soon as possible. And if it doesn't work out, then we're open to seeking other options. The main goal is just, picking the fights that are right for me and going out and doing my thing and killing it. So as long as I keep fighting, I'm a happy lady.
What did you think of the tournament? I know you're going to be watching that very closely. I know Miranda Maverick got the victory and came out on top. What did you think of the tournament? Did anybody really impress? Obviously, Miranda probably impressed you in some way,
Yeah.
but who else, what stuck out to you in that tournament?
I was backstage, obviously, and they have the TVs there, and I was like, all right, somebody stand in front of me, like, I don't want to watch, and I watched it anyways. So, yeah, I know. And I trained with Miranda, obviously. She's one of my good friends. We hung out down there when I was down there, so I watched all of her fights. Obviously, so proud of her, very impressed. She did amazing. I'm so glad she won. She worked so hard and was obviously very emotional after the win, so it meant a lot to her, and I thought that was amazing. The other girls, a couple were impressive. I was more impressed by the fight after mine. That wasn't the tournament fight. I can't remember her name at all, but she put on
Agapova.
Something crazy, yeah. Yeah, so I was really impressed with her fight. And would love to fight her eventually, but just because it'll be a cool matchup. Everybody else, I've seen them fight, or it's just they're good. Not anything I'm too impressed with or worried about. So, whenever I see them in the cage, good for them, and I'm ready to go. So that was the fun part of the tournament. I got to see how everybody does under that kind of pressure, and I felt pretty good about it afterwards.
Do you like the format of those tournaments? The one round is super interesting.
It's crazy to me. I don't know how I would feel going into it, but I think it is really cool. You just never know. I mean, we were at weigh-ins and everybody got their matchups like in front of us. So it was crazy. They had, a night to figure out their game plan, to say the least, and then 30 minutes in between rounds to figure out who were going to fight next. So it was really cool to see how everybody got ready for that, and kind of the anxiety and the tears backstage were crazy. So it was very emotional for everybody in the tournament, but I think it's such a cool way to do it. That's how it would be on a street fight, you never know who you're going to fight. So to be able to go out there and just, work through whoever you get is pretty cool to me. It was emotional, though. Some girls were not happy when they went backstage.
I bet. It's having those situations is very real life, right? Like you just said, it's more of the street fighting style, more of the you never know what's going to happen. It's kind of like, I know there's a big grappling tournament that happened just before UFC 239. I think it was UFC 239, and it was like that. The guys and gals had no idea who they were going up against until like 30 seconds before. The captain of so it's crazy. So it makes it. I was talking to Uriah Faber about it, and he was like, "Yeah, this is like as real as it gets, like because you never know on the street like who you could be fighting against."
And how do you prepare? You have to be well-rounded, and that's the sport. Like that's what I preach: well-roundedness. Like you're not a boxer, you're not a wrestler. You are an MMA fighter, and if you want to be an MMA fighter, you're gonna have to go fight whoever, whatever style, and you gotta be well-rounded. So I think it's a good thing, but whatever. Some people don't. If they're not fighters.
You said you're back to work and everything. How much time did you take off after the win? Like from the gym, from work, etc.? Did you get to smell the roses at all?
I did smell some roses, actually. I went that weekend, I slept in Kansas City that night, and then the next morning I took my fiance and we drove down to Arkansas and spent the weekend in a cabin, and both of us worked at 5 a.m. on Monday, so we came. It was literally like a Saturday and part of a Sunday, and then we drove back and got back to the grind. So it's good, but he's got a fight coming up. I obviously want to get back in camp, so it's good to have a little tiny break, and then we like our routine. So I like training and working and schooling and everything else I do.
So you got to sniff the rose, not really smell the rose.
Yes, it was a brief sniff on my hike, and then we came back.
Came right back. Outside of the win and the weigh-ins and all that fun stuff, what was your favorite part of your first Invicta Fight Week?
Oh boy. I think just like the build-up. I think all the media, seeing all the girls there, the way that they promote us is just really cool. Like not to be about myself, but I love being able to talk to people. So the whole time we were there doing video and camera, I was just, messing around with everybody and talking myself up. So I think it's really cool to get that aspect. Like I do, some interviews and whatnot, but to have just like the camera, the media, you get to show whatever side of yourself you want to show, and then they present that to the world to either get behind you or not. I think that was the funnest part for me. I love being on the camera. I love talk to everybody, and obviously the weigh-ins were fun, but that was the main part. And just, being in Kansas City with my family, and it's cool that the fights are in Kansas City for me personally, because that's where I'm from. So it feels very comfortable for me to be there that whole week and hang out with everybody. So it was awesome. I had a great time.
What a weekend it was for Josee Storts, getting the big win over Helen Lucero, a first round triangle choke submission. And onward and upwards. You got a very bright future ahead of you. A lot of people are very excited to see you continue on in this career path that you're on. And I know I'm looking forward to it. But before we let you go, and you can enjoy the rest of the weekend, let the folks know where to find you on social media. Any shout outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, the floor is yours.
Alrighty. So on Facebook, you can find me at Josee Skull Crusher Storts. On my Instagram, Skull_Crusher_MMA. And then Twitter, Skull Crusher MMA. And again, I just want to thank my fight team, Springfield Fight Club here with all my coaches. I want to thank American Elite MMA out of Oklahoma for helping come down and corner me and letting me train there all the time. And then my striking coach, Chavez Striking, for getting me where I am. So that's about it for me. Follow me, and we're going to keep the train going.
All right, Josee. Look forward to seeing you back in there soon. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
Yes, soon.
All right, talk soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Have
Absolutely.
a good one.
Bye.